Hi, I'm John Noser. This is Board Game Geek TV. We're here at Gen Con 2014 with Kevin G. Nunn and Christopher Bedell, and we're taking a look at Sentinel Tactics.
Indeed we are. So Sentinel Tactics is a skirmish game in the Sentinels of the Multiverse setting. So now you get to bring the same battles that you enjoyed with cards to your tabletop in miniature form.
Absolutely.
Here we see the middle of a battle where we have Omnitron battling with Tachyon, Bunker, and Legacy.
Absolutely. I know this game's a lot of fun because it's a fast-paced. A lot of miniatures and war games can be very nitty-gritty and dig down into the details, and that's great if that's the experience you want. But when we were coming together to make a superhero miniatures game, we wanted it to be fast. We wanted it to be playing really dynamically. You wanted your turns to you want to have a lot of options, but not necessarily get bogged down to the minutia of necessarily measuring lines as much as let's just go get them. Let's just go get them.
Go get them.
So
all right.
So it looks like each person has some cards. Do they have their own deck?
Yeah. So each character has their own hand of cards, but those cards you don't have a deck that you draw from. You have all your cards.
Oh, okay.
And at the start of the game, I've got Bunker here, so I'm gonna put out. I want to have my grenade launcher and I want to have my snapshot micro missiles because you get 2 cards. Everybody has 2 power cards, and so I'm gonna pick those 2, and that's all my setup. And then at the beginning of each turn, I can go. You know what? I need something else. I'm gonna pick up snapshot micro missiles and put down artillery mode, and so that way each turn you can kind of change your loadout and change how your character is behaving. So
absolutely,
it's a lot of fun.
So just to show how some basic combat might work, now that we've picked Bunker, and let's get Bunker's card on camera here, his grenade launcher.
Sure.
So if we could zoom in on that card right there.
That's what I'm going to use on Omnitron.
On Omnitron.
Because it says it doesn't require line of sight, which is good because this forest here is blocking line of sight. However, I can pick a vertex. A vertex is a space between 3 hexes, or that line, within origin 4. So I'm here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, sure.
That's a terrible place.
I'll pick that vertex right there.
Okay.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
And
now he's going to roll 4 dice.
4 with the die code, so I'm going to take the 4 dice and roll them. Now normally dice have to make range, but since the attack is originating from this vertex, it's at range 0, so we're fine.
Okay.
The 1s and 2s are auto misses, so that 1 goes away, and if there were any 2s, they would also go away. So I'm left with 3, 4, and 6 as my attack numbers.
So now Omnitron is facing 3 points of damage, 1 from each die. So if we look at Omnitron, he has a defense. I need to put him on camera.
Yep.
So now we look at Omnitron, and he has a defense of 3.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll 3 dice. All right, now the attack that was coming at Omnitron was 6, 4, 3. So I could use this 5 to cancel the 4, or the 4 to cancel the 4. Sure. Equal is good enough. And I'll use the 4 to cancel the 3. But I didn't have anything big enough to cancel the 6. So Omnitron has now taken 1 of his 7 damage that he can take. Boo! Don't worry, I will get even.
No.
I will exterminate you.
Yeah, we
have health markers.
So these are the wounded things, and you put the hit points on there, and you take them off as you.
Oh, okay, so you're taking them off.
That's why yeah, right. So
now to show one other quick thing, when I was attacked so unfairly, you'll notice there was a fist next to this. A fist icon here means an action. And Bunker gets 2 actions per turn.
So I have 1 action left.
1 action left, but like the card game, cannot do the same thing again.
So I can't just grenade launch him again, but if I had a different thing that I could attack him with, I would. But since I don't, this is my last action, and now he's full of retaliation and anger, I could take a dodge action, for instance, and be defensive for a round or something like that.
Or
run away. Yeah, I could say, you know what, my movement currently, you'll see here on my card that it says movement 3 with an arrow in. I'll show off some other options too. So with Bunker 3 with the arrow to the side like that, takes the median, so I roll 3 dice. 1, 1, 5 means my movement is 1. I don't really super love that. However, if I were Tachyon with a movement of 3 up, I would roll 3 dice and take the highest. I would move 6.
She always was fast.
Whereas
Omnitron, she's always fast.
Yeah. Right. Bunker is unreliable in his movement. He's pretty plodgy.
Very close to 3. The median sits very close to 3.
Right. Whereas Tachyon's gonna be 5s and 6s most of the time.
Yeah.
Omnitron it has a movement of 3 down because he's talking about plodgy. So you roll 3, 5, 5, 1. His movement is 1. So I'm not super concerned that he's going to get to me, but he could probably take 1 step to the side and see me, so I'm in trouble.
I could hump over to here.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see me though because of the forest.
Forest is in the way.
But if you move to here, you can.
True. So I'll hump over
now
here.
Now you can see me, and you're going
do
to
dastardly things to you,
yeah,
which is only fair after you so evilly punched me, shot me.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it's you play until one side is out of health and
Well, so in fact,
eliminated?
one of the super exciting things about the Sentinel Tactics game is that the skirmish play is really the primary thing we encourage with it. We're going to be you can play skirmishes, you can play 3v3, you can play however sort of skirmish stuff you want to do, but the scenarios are where the game really shines, because just like with Sentinels: The Multiverse, the card game, what's really important is the storytelling. You're playing a game, it's a lot of fun, it's mechanically good, it's a good game to play, and yet the story is what grabs you and drags you in.
Yes.
With this game, there are 3 main villains that come with the game: Baron Blade, Omnitron V, and Citizen Dawn. There are 3 scenario books that come in the box that are shaped like comic books and that feature on the cover one of those 3 villains doing something evil and comic book cover looking, and each of those scenario books has 3 different scenarios in it, and you open up the book, you read the comic book, it's got panels of story and dialogue, and as you're reading the comic book you get to a point where there's rising action and there's about to be a battle, and it says, okay, set up the board like this, put the villains here, put the heroes here, play the battle that's taking place in this comic book. You finish the battle, you keep reading the comic book. You get to the next one, it says, okay, set all your stuff up. Now, did the heroes or the villains win that first scenario? Because that'll change things in the second scenario.
Oh, okay.
And then you get to the third scenario, and the same thing. The heroes and villains win 1, and the heroes and villains win 2. Whatever happened along those 2 scenarios changes what happens in the last scenario. So
And then the third scenario is the climax of the story arc.
Right. So, and those look super great. I'm dragging them out here.
I have some here as well. Yes.
Here you go.
I have a small
Here are
sample
here are the scenario
Yes, there we
books.
go.
So there's the Baron Blade scenario book, and the Omnitron scenario book, and the Citizen Dawn scenario book.
I need to go a little lower. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
And those are great. And so, like with Omnitron, who we're looking at here, you open it up. Oh, okay. I'm the worst. You open it up, and there's the story, and you read the story, and then you play the scenario. And then after that scenario, you turn the page, and there's more story, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So it's these. I'm really proud of these. The story in these are great. I had a lot of fun writing them. And I'm sure that people are going to enjoy them. So
Cool. It's going to go well.
Here's to take a look at the miniatures.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Face up.
Absolutely.
yeah.
And we also already have the first expansion out for the game,
Yep.
which gives us 3 new heroes and 3 new villains, and I'm just going to give folks a quick look at that.
Sure. What is
So
this?
this is Uprising.
Uprising.
Uprising. And so we introduced 3 new heroes and 3 new villains. So taking a quick look inside the box, this one is unpunched, but here we have the cards for the characters. Here we have the punch board with the character pogs and effect tiles.
And
These are all the character panels for them.
Those
So
are all the character
the 3
panels.
heroes are Beacon, the Visionary, and Unity, and the 3 villains are Ambuscade, the Operative, and Proletariat.
And here is the comic book for the expansion.
Okay.
And so again, we have the same story arc going.
Sweet. Well, the art is beautiful. It looks beautiful. It sounds like it's a good time.
It is a lot of fun.
We've been having a great time developing it and a great time sharing it here at the con.
And this weekend has been a lot of fun. People just playing games over and over again and seeing how much.
There are now strategy guides for the scenario we've been demoing on the web.
Yep.
So we know we're hitting the right spot when people are so excited that they play a demo and they go home and write a strategy guide for that scenario.
Yeah.
So it's pretty nice feeling.
Cool. Well, thank you for showing us the Sentinel Tactics and the expansion Uprising.
Thank you, sir.
I hope you guys have a great con.
Thank you very much.